Hello, Tumblr, and whoever else is on Tumblr. I'm Darren the Mad Scientist.
Hello.
This is Angus. He's my cameraman and also my drinking buddy to make sure I do not die, because this is the first time I've been drunk in my entire life.
It's very entertaining.
And this is my co-host, Alaran. My cameraman modeled him for me, and I made him on an amazing printer. So, yeah.
Hi, Hannah.
That's my housemate, Hannah. She's not a camera view, but she exists.
Hi, Hannah. No, she escaped.
She ran away. Okay, so I'm here to review number 23, The Suspicion? 24.
24, yeah.
Is 23 the solution? Don't tell me, I think it's a solution. This is very shortly after the David trilogy. Not important. Okay, yeah, this is the first time I've been drunk, so I apologize. I have no idea how to not, whatever. Anyway.
English.
This is the second time we've tried to record this, but the first time we had a computer fail, so we're probably going to do this in like chunks, and then it's bigger later because my laptop doesn't understand how electricity works.
Just sing out when you want to stop.
Oh, right. Can you tell me when it's gone, like 5 minutes or something?
I'm currently at 120.
Oh, right. So, anyway. So, hopefully this will be more concise than my original, but probably not, because I am now drunker. The other time I ranted for like 10 minutes about tiny people, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, actually, it was more like 20.
I'm sorry.
There was 10 minutes for the tiny people and 10 minutes for how,
Physics and eyes.
organelles and tiny cells work.
Cells are important!
Yes, cells are important.
I have no sense of time, even normally. Okay, so, this is the first Helmicron story, and the Helmicrons are very polarizing. Either you love them or you hate them.
Shit.
They're amazing. I love them, except for their second appearance, which is really dumb. It's just like a fantastic voyage. It's done really badly with no sense of physics. Not important. Okay, so they are. Cassie is at the barn. This is a Cassie book, I think. This is a Cassie book.
It's a Cassie book last time we talked about it.
It's a Cassie book with other Animorphs in it. They're at the barn.
So it's every Animorphs book except the,
Cassie and Jake are at the barn. This is before they get kissy, because this is before the attack. We established that in the previous video.
Because the attack is 26.
We'll never see. Okay, and Cassie and Jake, I think the other Animorphs are there. Cassie and Jake are there, and like, Cassie's family clearing out stuff to give to the Salvos, or Winnies, or the Americans want the Salvos, yeah?
I didn't they call them the Salvos? Salvation Army.
The Salvation Army. Okay, Americans like to make words long, so,
No, we like to make words short. That's what we do.
It's called efficiency. So,
It's called efficiency.
they're taking stuff to the fucking Salvation Army. Well, don't drink so much vodka. They're taking the stuff to Salvation Army or some similar, like, charity. I don't know if they were named. Like, maybe they didn't want to date the book. They never name anything in the book.
Oh,
Except
God forbid we date the book when no one has a fucking mobile phone.
Well, the interesting thing is they start playing like Xena, Warrior Princess.
And everyone has a Discman, and like...
Anyway, okay. They take it to a charity, and like, before they go, Cassie notices there's this, toy spaceship stuck to like their water pump, and she's like, well, okay, this is weird. Maybe it's like coincidence, maybe someone put it there, because the water pump is where she hid the escafil device, the multi-cube, from David, who they just like screwed over and turned into a rat like not very long ago, so they must all be shell shocked.
Maybe he didn't want to be a rat.
I don't think he wanted to be a rat. He was pretty adamant about not being a rat.
Screaming about not wanting to be a rat isn't an indication you don't want to be a rat.
Anyway, he did try to kill everyone, so, kill some and still like them. Anyway, is my voice loud enough for this camera?
I have no idea, I assume so.
Okay,
if you want to drop, we have just hit 4:30, we can probably call it a chunk.
Alright, we're gonna go away and come back. Okay, so we're back again in our tiny mini safety videos. All that stuff.
Tiny mini safety
Well,
videos?
last time we made it like 45 minutes or something, and it crashed before we could save it. Hopefully this will not be 45 minutes. Right. All the stuff we said last time is still true. My name is still Darren. This is Angus.
There was you got to the point with the water pump and the ship.
Okay, so they find the ship attached to Hello Hannah, attached to the water pump, and they Cassie's all like, well, yeah, coincidence, whatever. And then they like give the ship away with a bunch of other stuff, like a toy spaceship, to the hey Liz, this is Elizabeth. I live with this baby. For some reason, I now have a gift of baby socks.
Hey Lizzie.
I don't know the point of these, but well done.
Go to
Say
my
hi to
mum.
camera?
No,
Okay.
she's not on camera.
Oh, that's
Hold it
okay.
off. You've got like maybe 2 feet to your left before the camera stops.
Well, I now have these are evidence that I live with a baby. These baby socks. Okay. So they send stuff away, and then like another toy spaceship shows up. Sorry, I dropped you. What?
Drop Alarin. He's had enough trouble, alright?
Yeah,
He's had a hard life.
his legs are heat warped, so he's like, by Andalite culture, he's a disgrace and needs to go seclude himself because they're able as fucks.
This is what being a vehicle looks like.
Stop using alien slurs on the internet. So yeah, because
Check your vehicle privilege.
Because Andalites are able as fucks. So that's a different book where they address that. That's the gay Andalites.
No, the drunken Tumblr review is for children, for sure.
That was already covered by a different reviewer. The gay Andalite / disability book. It's not my problem.
There's a book where there's gay Andalites who smoke weed every day. 420. Where's it?
Anyway, so this book is about tiny people called Animorphs, and they are amazing because I love tiny people.
Are we going to get another half an hour monologue about tiny people?
Almost definitely, we are going to get another half an hour monologue.
Alright, I can do it.
So they then a second spaceship shows up and starts attacking them. I apologize for not being drunk. They start
You haven't had much practice.
attacking them with like tiny legs or something, and they realize, hey, these are actual spaceships instead of like model spaceships. Am I getting the order right? It doesn't.
Okay.
If this is wrong, read the book.
And then they go to the...
Read the book. Anyway, so they're like, alright, it's no spaceship. So they go to get like the first spaceship again, and they go to the Salvo's
Vinny's, whatever it is.
They go to the op shop. They go to the op shop. And they call op shops in America?
Thrift stores. Thrift store.
Thrift store, the second-hand place where you buy things.
Stop it.
They go there, and they talk to the guy at the counter, and they're like, yeah, we accidentally dropped off something that's not supposed to be here. Can we pick it up? And he's like, yeah, stuff's at the back. But he's like a total nerd. They're like, yeah, we accidentally get. These fingers are very delicate. These ones are broken. I'm sorry, Alan.
I really doubt the camera can hear you.
Okay, anyway.
She's judging the fingers on the model for being delicate.
They break very easily. So they
What are you even doing over there?
Probably breaking everything. She's a baby. They go and they're like, yeah, we accidentally left this toy spaceship in there, and it's like, well, what kind of like toy spaceship was it? Was it like, you know, Romulan or Ferengi or whatever? It's like maybe it was from like, I forget which other universe they used, even though we should have googled this after we crashed the other day. But anyway, he's a total nerd, and they.
Speaking of which, would you say 4 minutes?
All right, and they're like, okay, well, it was Romulan because they just make shit up. It was vaguely Romulan, and.
I'm sure it was Klingon. I'm sure it was Klingon because it was Klingon Warbird, one with the singularity.
Fine, believe him. I know enough. I'm not a. I only saw The Next Generation. That's like my entire Star Trek.
Technically, seen more than I have.
Well, believe him anyway because I'm very drunk.
Star Trek is great.
Even though I've not actually drunk that much alcohol, apparently I'm a lightweight. But these guys insist I'm drunk because I fell into a wall that one time.
She's like 400% louder.
Anyway.
That's the only way we can tell because she falls over everything
I'm
otherwise.
always loud.
Yeah, but you don't always fall over.
I do fall over quite often. And it is summer, so.
Okay, yeah.
It's really not important. The important thing is the tiny aliens in this fictional 90s novel for children.
But it's never been important!
Holocrons are amazing. So, they go to the back, and like the other Holocron ship is there, and it gets up and it starts attacking them, and for some reason this matters, even though it does like cigarette burn damage, and these guys have been disemboweled and like had their limbs ripped off, and I think Jake has been crushed as a fly at this point and bled out, but maybe that's later.
How would a fly bleed out?
well, all his organs oozed out, and they were.
That's not bleeding out.
That
That's
was
organ
an amazing
trauma.
scene because they were like, it was his book, and they were like carrying him, right? And all you can hear is their thoughts be going, "Oh my god, the leg I was holding just fell off, just fell off." It's like, should we scoop the guts back in? That was my favorite scene in all of that.
Of course it was.
Anyway,
Of course it fucking was.
No, I won't say such a party person. I don't know if I said in this video, if it was the last video,
5:49.
Okay, thanks. I'm going to, I may not remember all the canon stuff, because I've plotted this for Parting with Clouds, so, if there's anything in here that's not true, just ignore that part and go read the damn book again. Yeah, I'm gonna break off again and do another one. Okay, so, where were we again? We were at the Salvo, we were at the op shop, thrift store, the thrift...
The nerdy thrift store.
Here's thrift store, right, in America?
Thrift shop?
Thrift shop? No, store is American.
Is it? It's a place where you buy shit.
You buy second-hand stuff there. Shop? Not store?
You sure?
Who cares? We've seen
the song is thrift shop though.
This is
Macklemore is not the definer of language.
He won an award.
I won an award.
What does that have to do with that award?
I could take a shit and win an award. It doesn't mean anything.
Hello, you could win a Grammy
Come
before
say hi
it.
to the internet.
Even though Beyonce's in the same fucking category.
I'm white and middle-aged and male. I can win all the awards.
Yeah. You got an award then. Well
This
done.
is crap on a plate. Give me an award.
Can I now get back to the Tiny Pink story?
Lizzie's being angry. What you done, Liz?
She's eating toys, I think.
Lizzie, come on. Off you go.
Come on.
She's off camera. She's all good.
Okay, anyway. So the Animorphs are fighting a tiny spaceship.
What are you doing, Liz? It's only coincidence that you're perfectly in camera shot, isn't it? Come on, take it away. Go back to Mum. Give Jackie some time to drink vodka.
I saw a screenshot of Lizzie's face close to the camera, Jackie's sculling in the background.
Yeah, that's pretty much life at the moment.
Vodka's amazing, right? I drank it before. Okay, anyway.
Okay, so thrift shop. Thrift shop, Klingons.
So they get attacked by a tiny spaceship. And for some reason, they turn into birds at this point to fight it, even though birds are vulnerable to the... Does that happen in this book?
I'm sure they try to morph birds and it's like, fucking hell, we can see the molecules, what are we doing?
That's later when they're tiny. They're not tiny yet.
I'm sure they morph something with wings.
They try to fight the spaceship in smaller mobs, which is a dumb idea because the lasers actually matter then, and they asked Axe, I think earlier they asked Axe about whether the Yerks would use a tiny flying thing, and he's confused by the existence of the word thing.
But you could put one Yerk, a little flying robot, like an Amazon
They
drone.
already had flying robots in this series,
But
okay?
if you had an Amazon drone with a Dracon beam underneath.
Amazon doesn't exist yet, it's not, wait, did that exist in 9?
I could Google it.
Don't find out, we'll look it up later when the
Okay.
internet doesn't have to watch
So
us.
we're just going to assume Amazon isn't anybody else.
It might be.
I'm Googling it.
Okay, anyway, that's really not relevant to this particular story. Because this particular story is very, very silly.
Amazon doesn't have an eye, does it?
Why would Amazon have an eye?
I don't know.
Okay, anyway,
I have not been drunk for quite some time. This is a new experience.
well, it's even more new experience to me. So, they,
Okay, I'll put the website.
go home and there's, I think the ship follows them, or the other ship is there, and they have, an argument, and the Animorphs bring up the fact that, they're Helmicrons. The Helmicrons are people on the ship, and they're, amazing and tiny, and they're, very stereotypical, we will conquer the universe aliens.
I cannot remember the question, but Amazon was founded in 1994. So it's conceivable the Amazon was infested by the Yerks during the Animorphs series.
Oh, I bet it's one of Joe Bob Finestra's things.
Yeah, sure.
That's not to do with this book. Anyway.
So from Seattle as well, like Cyberpunk as well.
Stop derailing me, I'm already trying not to. Anyway, so they Helmicrons, tiny aliens, they're amazing because all they do is go on about how great they are and how they're going to take over the universe, and they have this log about how great they are, and they went shucks at it, and I love them so much.
So that's the Republican Party.
Yeah, okay, now I hate them, thanks for that. Anyway, the Animorphs point out that they're tiny, and can't take over the universe, and I don't really understand how being tiny matters because Yeerks are quite, like, they're not that tiny, but Yeerks are quite small as well.
Yeerks aren't holding handheld weapons at the time.
Anyway.
Like, an individual Yeerk is not going to hold a Dracon beam.
Well, an individual Yeerk will get inside a Hawkshire and then hold a Dracon beam.
That's like saying that a giant mech is the person. I don't know.
Anyway, so the Holocrons take offense to this and go on about how the Animorphs are taking pride in their bloated mass or something. And shrink like half the Animorphs down. They shrink Cassie and Marco and Tobias, and I don't remember if they got anyone else.
Why do they shrink the bird?
So that we can see the bird is the same size as the human. It's really comical.
Really silly.
And I still think, I'm going to point out points to the other one, but it's break. How are we for time?
We are sitting at 5:03.
Oh, we're amazing at timing. Don't stop it yet.
Okay.
Okay. So they
By your command.
Anyway, I still think it would be great if Tobias. I've been watching SNK with Angus, my cameraman. John says make sure I don't die because there's nothing done. I think it would be great if Tobias had a more human, just like followed them around.
What if Tobias is Aaron? So it's just Aaron being angry, but he's a hawk the whole time.
Tobias is more sad than angry.
It's Mikasa and Armin.
Tobias is a lot more like Armin than Aaron.
Fair enough.
None of this is relevant to the story. The point is that they get arrested, and I think Tobias flies away or something because only Cassie and Marco end up on the ship. We should do another video.
Yeah, where's the button? So I have losing track of what I'm doing.
We'll just cut this bit off.
Stop. Okay. No, that was a right click. I'm not very good at this. Okay, we're recording.
I'm sorry, everyone.
I'm so good at this.
Aaron is judging you.
I built him. I can destroy him.
You modeled him. I built him.
No, the printer built him.
You were like the designer, and I was the technician.
I gave him shape.
Okay, that's true. You just literally gave him shape.
You literally pushed the button and waited.
I also cleaned the printer afterwards.
Okay, fuck off.
And it's
I have the mini Alarin in my house.
It's a $50,000 printer.
Yeah, but it's like a $7 print.
It's not an expensive anyway.
Anyway, we're recording.
Okay.
I'm sure the internet wanted to
We'll
see
edit
this.
this later. Okay. The important thing
You should just dump the whole thing online.
Probably will be, because I'll be very tired by the time we finish. Helmicrons are amazing. They take Cassie and Marco prisoner, and like Tobias fucks off somewhere, I forget.
Eat mice.
But he's tiny.
Yeah,
Mice
he eats
will
tiny
eat him.
mice.
Mice will eat him.
He eats fleas.
Maybe.
It dives on them when they're running around.
I'm not sure his digestive system can handle that much
Okay, I don't think the digestive system is the thing to worry about when he's a tiny
people make no sense, okay? They make no sense thermodynamically because, like, they should freeze to death. They make no attention to square cube law, okay? In this, what should happen is their heat should dissipate because they're not cold-blooded. They're human. They should freeze to death before anything happens.
Are you saying that humans who can't regulate their temperature are not human? Because
they're dead.
That's really ableist.
Humans who do not have the metabolism to maintain internal body heat are dead.
What if they're just like immunocompromised?
What sort of immunocompromised stops you?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Are you just making shit up?
Yes.
I apologize. My drinking buddy is drunk. Okay.
Maybe a little bit.
Anyway.
I'm on Reddit.
Okay. Also, don't go on Reddit.
I'm told that I'm amazing because I'm a dude.
Hooray. Yeah, my drinking buddy's a dude. They should, I'm pretty sure they should be blind because of their lenses, but can I...
How are they picking up light if they can see individual molecules?
They can't yet, that's later.
Okay, my mistake.
They're too big for individual molecules, but they, can a physicist help with this? Like the lenses in the eyes, when they just shrink their eyes, okay, let's go through the math again.
We've gone to the scale of humans, so it's not quite the scale of flies. So I guess macrophysics...
Let's say...
Have a Z?
Okay, so...
Go back to normal.
Yeah. Elizabeth is amazing. I live with her. She likes to poke my face.
She likes the word bin.
She likes a lot of words. Cat is her favourite word. That's got nothing to do with animals.
He could do.
Anyway, there are cats and animals.
Favourite word is dude. Helmicrons. Helmicrons being tiny.
So how big are Helmicrons? Okay,
Not
so
this
a
big.
ship. Yeah, okay.
Not
So
that
let's
tall.
say their toy spaceship is about the size of an average model of a ship. Let's go conservative. Let's go large size models. We are
in a room full of models of
Can you
science fiction things.
can you show the Doctor Who models for a
Alright,
second?
hang on, let's see. Okay.
We have these are not mine. They belong to my
I
housemate.
cannot zoom with this camera, but
They will get an idea.
behold the
Do you need the last one to see properly?
No.
alien from Independence Day, which I am pointing at very carefully. Because you can't see the details.
Okay.
And there's a whole bunch of other stuff over here. And there's Hannah. Hi, Hannah.
Hannah is my housemate. She's amazing. She's the mother of Elizabeth.
And I think Lizzie's escaped somewhere.
Yeah, the one time actually went out.
Okay, back to Darren.
Hi everybody.
Hang on. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Hang on.
Point the camera at my face.
It's trickier than it sounds, alright? Okay, done.
Okay, I apologize. We should have enlisted someone in this adventure who is not drunk.
I know, this is kind of in the spirit of things.
Anyway, so
We should get the camera drunk.
let's say that if they think it's a model spaceship, I'm thinking 30 centimeters wide. Right.
Does that have any model spaceship?
I don't remember
There's a TARDIS up there.
I don't remember if the actual size of the model was mentioned
Is
in the book.
the TARDIS spaceship?
Who cares?
I think
Okay, Aaron probably cares, and no, it's not important.
Okay.
So let's say that Helmicrons are like 1 centimeter big.
Is it cubed?
It doesn't matter.
What if they're squares?
They're not squares. They were described in books.
But that would be a great shape for a tiny thing.
A sphere would be better.
Okay, let's say they're a sphere then.
They're not spheres.
They're a 1 centimeter across sphere.
They're not spheres.
But they could roll around.
Let's
It'd be
say they're
great.
2 centimeters in order to be conservative.
Okay.
The next question is.
So is that like 2 by 1.5? 2 by 0.5.
It makes no difference to the calculation of how wide they are. No difference. Okay, the humans are shrunk to Helmicron height. They're shrunk to, let's say, approximately 2 centimeters. Now, the average human height we established in the previous video, which was like, what?
534.
534, thank you. Wait.
I don't know where the fuck that 5 minutes went.
Oh, I thought you meant size and got confused.
No, but
Can
let
we
it be
make
very
a new video?
specific. Okay, new video. 3, stopping, 2, 1, mark. No, that's... I clicked it already.
Okay, are we going?
Did I click that 10 seconds ago?
My friend keeps fucking up his,
I'm highly trained! I have a degree!
I have new friends now. I'm not to tell them. This is Tara the Tardigrade. I have no idea if I pronounced that word correctly.
Tardigrade?
She's a water bear. She's amazing. This is my blue-green cyanobacteria. They don't have names. This is my giant eyeball that has a smiley face on it. Hello.
You should call it Trevor.
This is Trevor the giant eyeball with a smiley face. I don't like his smiley face. I always hide it and make him stare.
Why would there be a mouth on an eyeball?
That's what creeps me out about his smiley face.
Maybe it's painted on to distract predators?
They're friends of Alaran, who is on a diplomatic mission.
Wait, you have not really planned for this, have you?
I haven't written anything, I'm making this up.
Oh, good.
But apparently I'm 5 years old. I'll have to send him to the Unicorn Run Kingdom later. We have a lot of child's toys in here because we live with a baby.
Plus
where
Elizabeth.
were we in the actual review?
Tiny men in the ship at the op shop.
2 centimeters. We were at 2 centimeters.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say that they're to be conservative because I think they're actually smaller than that, like a lot.
I'm sure they're like, yeah, I don't know.
Like hard to see, kind of smaller.
Maybe
So
they're
let's say
translucent.
a human is like, I think like they're less than 200 centimeters. That's the size of pendulum. It's enormous.
I like that you managed to work that into both of our attempts at recording this.
I like pendulum.
Is that your baseline for tall human?
Yes.
Okay.
Penn and Teller are amazing, and they're both tall, and Penn is fucking huge.
Teller is better than Penn.
Teller
is better than Penn.
Teller is an amazing magician, and Penn has enormous hands. Which makes it...
That's the best that can be said for it.
He could palm his whole face if he wanted. Okay.
Hooray!
The important thing here is that
That's a real life achievement.
across the time. So let's say that they're like 2 centimeters. They go from 150 centimeters to 2 centimeters, which is a reduction of 75 times.
Why are you asking me? I can't do maths.
Why can't you do math?
If it's not base 2, I'm fucked.
75 times 2 is 150.
I'll take your word for it.
So what's 100 divided by 75? 1.25.
7.5. I don't fucking know. Oh my
7.5
god.
is
You said 75 divided by 100.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be 7.5 or
Sorry, 100 divided by 75, I believe is what it said. That should... Okay. I apologize for maths is wrong because I'm very drunk. I'm not that drunk. How drunk am I?
You're drunk and I've never seen you.
That's not even drunk.
But I'm drunk as well, so I'm not sure how accurate my reading will be.
Let's assume it's 1.25 and ask the internet later.
All costumes are nerd gimp suits.
I didn't say that.
Attributed to Aaron Climbers.
I put that on Facebook because that's what he said.
It is word for word what he said, that's true.
That is what he said.
How are we for time? 3:15, so we haven't quite used up all 5 minutes on nothing.
We haven't even said anything about the health.
Go on,
okay,
2 minutes.
So, let's say that, like, if you have 150 centimeters, you're increasing the size by 75 times, right? So, how long is a human cell?
How the fuck would I know? You're the biologist.
A human neuron.
It's 1 neuron big.
A human neuron is 2.5 micrometers, I think.
You keep looking at me like I can give you answers.
Okay. Now a ribosome.
But there's nothing to do with
It's
Python.
30
I can't help you.
nanometers, and a mitochondrion is approximately 0.5 to 1 micrometer. Let's go with that because the maths is way easier. Okay, now a mitochondrion is a very important organelle. It is the powerhouse of the cell. If anyone has done high school
biology. It's the powerhouse of
biology.
the fucking cell, of course it is.
It has important proteins in it through which electrons move in order to generate ATP. If you did not have it, you would be dead. So imagine a cell that is 2.5 micrometers thick. It has mitochondria in it that are 1 micrometer thick. If it gets shrunk by 75 times in each dimension, it's not going to be able to fit organelles.
This was much clearer the first time.
You're far drunker now, okay? The point is you can't shrink cells. Okay.
You can't treat them, it's not doable.
You can't shrink the cells to that size. I haven't even got into the
455.
protrusions in the intestines that pick up nutrients. Are they called villi or is that a pie shop?
Villi's the little wiggly thingies.
It's also a pie shop though, right?
Yeah, because it's up on South Road, yeah.
Right, yeah, and it's 24
hours. Yeah, no, like it, yeah. And I have a friend online whose name is Billy, and she's wonderful.
Okay, that is now on record on Tumblr forever.
And once she was playing a roleplay game, she made out with the severed head of the city leader at the inner gate of the city.
Okay, Anxious friend Billy is wonderful and made out with the severed head of the city leader at the
Severed
head of the city leader. Okay. That's actually way more amazing.
I'm gonna link this
I thought Harry McDaniel's here.
I have to link this to when we're done. Yeah.
Just reblog it on my blog, please.
We'll find out. It's good. Yeah, we can do it.
Helmicron!
Tiny men, mitochondria will not fit in the shrunk tiny thingy.
You can't shrink human cells 25 times is where this is going.
Yes, okay, so we've taken about 15 minutes to say that.
Okay.
Do you wanna... We're at 6 minutes now.
Alright, just stop.
Okay, shit, I didn't record... Fuck. We're going, it's on.
Alright, I'll cut this later.
I was supposed to talk... Yeah.
We'll cut this later.
Shit. Okay.
So... What we're talking about.
You cannot shrink a tiny man. No. You cannot shrink a regular man to be a tiny man. You can't shrink
cells to be that small. Okay. Yeah. So okay.
Oh my god, she's destroying everything.
Hey, Bob. You're.
There is. Come here. This way. Good job. Where's my mum? Did you find my mum?
So you can't shrink human cells.
She's gonna go right
75 times.
Off she goes.
In order to make someone small, but can you have?
You can reproduce to have someone who's small, such as Lizzie.
She's not Helmicron.
She's tiny though.
Can you have 75 times less cells? Because that means that they only have 1.225.
I don't know. Why do you keep looking
at me?
Drunk. You keep saying maths and then looking at me.
I'm too drunk to do maths right now.
Last time I did maths, it was like.
You're a programmer!
Yeah, if it's on base 2 then I'm fucked.
1.25% of the brain cells. Oh,
Okay.
I'm gonna start this.
You can do it. I believe in you. Helmicrons are tiny men who don't work.
Let's start this entire conversation about how you can't have 75 times less cells in a human slab at work. Let's just stop
And
that.
you can't compress human cells.
I didn't even get into my point about the spinal column.
Okay, I missed that.
No, let's ignore that entirely. Spinal
We
column.
are at like 30 minutes now.
Alright.
This is going really well.
I want to apologise again. I've not been drunk before. I don't know what I'm doing.
You started to sound regular again.
Okay.
Clearly you need more vodka.
So, the Helmicrons.
The Helmicrons are vodka. Tiny, tiny vodka men.
That would make a good book, actually. Better book than the second.
How would that make a good book?
It'd be better than the second.
Why would you write a book about people who are vodka? Wouldn't that just be like a account of World War II Russia?
I don't know, it sounds a lot like a magic school bus, actually.
What? What?
They turned into salmon eggs this one time.
But
it got fertilized, and then turned into half
they're
salmon.
not vodka.
We learned about fluid dynamics. Didn't they get a world with no friction one time?
I don't know. I'm wondering if I've seen the same show as you if they turn into vodka.
The Helmicrons.
Helmicrons. Yeah.
Take Cassie and Marco.
I'm glad you've kept track of the narrative because I haven't.
Onto their ship. As slaves, I think I said that. And Cassie and Marco are taken to the captain, and they're told to grovel before the captain. But the captain is dead because the Helmicrons have this thing where they need their leaders to be someone they can idolize. And if they are in charge, then they will make decisions and make mistakes, and then they will be hard to idolize because they will have made mistakes. So whenever somebody is promoted to a high level in society, they are executed.
We should do this with the government of Australia.
Anyway, they're taking this like corpse in a chair. They like grovel before the captain, and Marco is amazing at it because he's Marco. So he's all like, he just makes up all these scenarios for desperate situations for how they're groveling, and he just like lies down his back and it's like, we grovel like the nerd who gets the fries, American fries.
Yeah, because we have chips.
Yeah, fries. But the only like tomato sauce ketchup, American.
I think ketchup is the sweet one, yeah?
So do they have tomato sauce or ketchup on their
They don't have tomato sauce because I talked to someone about it earlier on bait and they're like, what the fuck is tomato sauce?
They don't even have cordial there!
They don't have tomato sauce!
They don't have anything!
But they have like 400 varieties of peanut butter chocolate! Why?
What the fuck? Kool-Aid! I'm sorry, Papa.
Fuck me, Dad.
I got free. Should we cut this?
We're still at 4:50, 10 seconds.
Keep going. This is how it is.
Why is Ellen DeGeneres on my tablet?
I'm not gonna stop laughing. Just cut the video.
Why?
Just cut the video and let me recover.
Okay, hang on. Where's the button?
Okay, so, they are groveling before the Helmicron captain.
Who is dead?
Who's dead, with swords in her skeleton. And Marco's amazing at it. That's hilarious. And Cassie's really bad at it because she's a terrible liar.
Camera's being weird.
Is it showing me or not?
Yes, it was. You were off on the side. You're on focus.
Amazing. Okay. So Cassie is a really terrible liar. So Marco's doing all this amazing groveling. She's like, yeah, we're groveling like people who are really groveling. And
hang on, didn't we kill ketchup?
Ketchup was what Marco said.
We talked about ketchup.
Yeah, that was thinking Marco's thing. Keep up.
I'm sorry.
Keep up. So,
this isn't my field.
Animorphs.
Animorphs is not my field.
So, their captors, the Helmicrons, send them off, like, they haven't. I forget what they argue about. They argue about something, and then they all pull out swords and kill each other. And that's how they solve debates, which I think would, like you said last time, would make question time way more interesting.
It'd be great.
Our parliament solved debates that way.
And you have the fuck. The dude, is it the Governor General who has the mace?
I don't know.
There's
someone. Hannah's the international studies
she's left.
expert.
Okay, the dude with the mace. Just like clobbering all the senators. It'd be great.
Are you sure that's not just the speaker?
Could be the speaker. No, because he raps on the door with the butt of it.
Does he?
He's got the black mace. It's called the black mace.
The last time I watched Question Time, a whole bunch of the opposition got like cartoon versions of the leader's head on like sticks and wore them as silly masks because they were like 5 years old.
What is wrong with Australian politics?
Maybe they're all as drunk as us right now.
Plus, that would explain more, but it doesn't.
Okay,
anyway.
So
Helmicrons.
They get taken off, like, the Helmicrons have a fight and kill a lot of each other, which is their way of making decisions because their captain is dead and can't say anything.
Captain is dead. Like Batman. No.
Batman has nothing to do with it.
His parents, not Batman. Okay.
There's that one time, then there's the Lazarus Pit thing and the zombie, which Damien was really upset about.
Wasn't like 8 different times.
Oh, Batman.
He does a lot. Okay.
Okay, anyway.
Hey, there's an ant on me.
Hooray.
Hi, ant.
Yeah.
There you go.
So they get, the Helmicrons summon like a Helmicron, like, lower class slave kind of Helmicron, and it turns out that, like, the males are all, like, lower class slave Helmicrons.
Misandry.
The females, go buy a fucking fedora. The females are all, like, the warrior ones, and Marco makes a joke about it being, like, a planet, like, a species of Rachel.
Wait. No, never mind. Sorry.
Okay, so they get taken away by this Helmicron male who teaches them to be slaves, which is actually apparently really, like, he doesn't teach them anything useful. He's like, do what the females say and don't make trouble, which I would have thought was pretty obvious for any kind of slave. But yeah, he's pretty cool. He's actually, I like him a lot. He doesn't have a name because I don't remember if like all Helmicrons have names or if the males don't have names. But like Marco, who is amazing but sometimes an insensitive douchebag, decides to name him Wuss, which I don't think is fair.
I thought Wuss wasn't even an American word.
I don't know. Apparently Applegate thought it was.
Damn it, Applegate!
Most of the people who watch this are Americans and they'll probably reword it like 50 times correcting all of our American words. I've never been to America.
It's a terrible place.
How would you know that movie?
I've read the internet.
Yeah, but we're pretty terrible too.
Everywhere's terrible.
Let's just agree the entire world's terrible.
Let's just move to Switzerland.
I'm pretty sure they also have terrible.
What is Sweden? No, Sweden's, yeah. Shit.
Just buy a desert island somewhere. It'll probably cost less than
Moonbase! Let's buy a moonbase. With rockets!
This has nothing to do with Animorphs.
Well, it could do.
They don't go to the moon ever.
Really?
Not once.
Not once.
No, they go to various planets.
Anyway, it's a 90s science fiction series that never goes to the moon.
They don't even go to Mars.
What?
In fact, I'm
But
pretty sure I remember
it's mandatory. It's mandatory for a series of the 90s in a science fiction to go to Mars and discover an ancient civilization living there.
Listen, okay, they discover that in the ocean. They do kill.
For fuck's sake.
Okay, they do kill Hitler, but they don't have a Western episode, and they don't have an episode where aliens kidnap them all and force them to fight gladiatorial like combat.
Are you sure this is the 90s series?
Well, maybe Applegate wasn't up on the correct tropes.
Maybe she was a time traveler.
No, she got the biology better.
From the past.
Oh, from the past. That's why she the internet so much.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Anyway.
None of this is relevant, and I apologize again to the internet. So they get taken off by this guy who is named Wuss by Marco.
535.
Okay, by Marco, his name Wuss. And they hang out with him for a while, and then like the warrior Helmicron female show up again. They're like, give us the morphing cube. Did I mention the Helmicrons after the morphing cube? That's like the.
I'm sure you mentioned the pump.
Crux of the entire story.
No, you totally mentioned the pump.
Is the fact that they are after the morphing cube because it's called the Estical device.
I'm not sure if you mentioned that Or after the crash.
Previous review. Anyway, the Animorphs never call it the Escapable device because they, for some reason, hate alien words.
Words too
They
long.
don't even use Aximili's full name. They call him Ax. No one ever asks if he's okay with being called Ax. They're just like, you're Ax now. And he always introduced himself as Aximili, so I always thought maybe they should use his name.
Maybe he's going to be passive aggressive about it.
I don't know. I think he kind of like, they rescued him, and one of them's his prince, so he's not gonna.
But he's kind of like the embodiment of passive
And
aggressive.
they're so, the whole time, they're like, you know, he needs a prince, he calls him Prince Jake, the whole time they're like, don't call me prince. And he clearly, like, that's an important cultural thing to him. They never bother to accommodate him in any way.
They are a bunch of predominantly white kids in the 90s America. I guess you got Marco and Cassie.
Well, one of them's a hawk now, I don't think he counts.
Tobias isn't described as being PSE outside of...
That's true. So they have two kids who are people of colour, and two are ambiguously either Jewish or half Jewish, but it only comes up like twice.
I figured Jake and Rachel were like blatantly Caucasian, like
They
nuclear
are
family.
pretty, but they like at some point it's like, oh yeah, my dad's Jewish, so but then it never like comes up again.
Jake kind of has to be because he's the selling point of the series and it was in the 90s.
He was so boring.
That's the point.
He's the mashed potato of people.
Literally.
Okay.
Extra cream.
Yeah, with the Helmicrons.
Helmicrons, yeah.
And like we want to like get us the morphing cube, the energy device thing, because they want to power their ships and go home, I think.
Because everyone should build their ships based on alien technology.
Maybe the Helmicrons have similar technology and they were somehow divided from their fleet.
I still find it weird that you would build a military ship that can't refuel.
Maybe it kind of was damaged. But we just watched the episode of SNK where they ran out of gas and there's like...
Yeah, but that was for drama.
This is drama. Very silly drama. This is the opposite of SNK. People became tiny.
So why didn't Jake eat the Helmicron?
Well, Cassie nearly does.
Okay, so Cassie's the Titan.
That would be amazing.
So Pixis will be on her back. Alright.
That would be amazing. We've been watching SNK, if you can't tell. We're not up to date, so no spoilers, please. They're like, where is it? And Cassie actually does something amazing here, which is like, I don't mention, Cassie has like two amazing books in the series, which are The Departure and The Sickness, and otherwise she's like generally written badly, but like occasionally has amazing moments, and this is one of them. And she's like, oh yeah, we know where the device is. It's with this other dude. She's like, it's with Visa 3, you know, and he's a Yerk. They're like, oh my god, Yerk's on his planet. So they go to get the morphing key off Visa 3. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna pit the Helmicrons against the Yerk. But it turns out that like the Helmicrons suck compared to the Yerks, and the Yerks are like, oh my god, these are Helmicrons again. This is really stupid.
Kind of like the audience reacts to the book.
But hey, the first Helmicron book was amazing because tiny people. It's the second one.
Not everyone likes tiny people.
Well, they should. I'm a biologist, and I still managed to find it in my heart to love tiny people.
That's because your heart is full of tiny people, which explains more than it doesn't.
That would be great. Okay,
no. How would that be great?
Okay.
That'd be like building mines in your heart. It'd be awful.
Okay. Anyway, they
we're approaching 10 minutes from this.
Okay, cut it.
Yep, okay. Bees.
I would like to apologize how bad I am at this. I would like to reiterate again, I have no experience at being drunk.
It's very entertaining from this end of the camera.
Okay, but it's probably not when people have to watch this. It's like a video. They're gonna be like, get on with the. Yeah, but we know how lazy I am.
I can edit it.
No, I better do it.
You just don't trust my editing.
No, yours will be too amazing.
Too amazing.
It'll be like you'll make it like a real video, and then people won't be able to laugh at
how dumb dramatic pans and fade outs and
okay.
CGI backgrounds.
You've been watching too much SNK with the long pants.
No such thing as too much SNK. But if you hold still, we'll backlight you with some red
and
make
like
everything black and white.
I don't have enough hair to do the blowing thing.
Do you think Aaron could do the smoke?
He does love smoke.
Okay.
Now, our smoke
would you be open to being eaten alive by a giant?
No.
Damn.
Do I get to be tiny and be eaten alive by a normal person?
That's gonna be a bit fetishy.
Okay, that's true. Let's not do that. It's really
yeah, we were talking about a thing.
Helmicrons.
Helmicrons.
Okay.
Yeah, Helmicrons are great.
I apologize again.
No, they suck. Shit, I'm confused.
He's so drunk he can't remember his position.
I'm not that drunk.
Am I in the middle of the shot?
Yes.
Amazing.
I just managed to... Shit.
There's nothing in that. Okay. He just knocked over a glass, so that's nothing.
It's empty for a reason.
It's because he drank all the vodka.
Right, wonderful.
So they go and have like a fight with this three, and everyone ends up on Chapman's head somehow. And he's mostly bald, and they see a flea, and there's like a big deal about seeing a flea. So it's just because they've all been like, what do you think, Alan? Yeah. Okay. So it's weird.
Why are you talking to the prop?
I don't know.
Whatever does it for you, I suppose.
So they then they end up like Axe shows up with the other Animorphs, and they're like, oh yeah, we like after you guys got shrunk and went through all this ridiculous stuff, we just like hit the other ship with a brick and put it in a vice. So they had the other ship just in a vice, and they're like, oh well, okay, that's good. It's like, so we forced them to like use their equipment to lead us here to rescue you. Or I think that's what happened. They ended up there somehow.
How did they leave them if they were in a vice?
I think they like told them where they were. Anyway, they ended up there somehow, and well, they did.
Magic. It's totally the space magic.
Everything in the series is space magic. Anyway, so they're like, oh well, I hope you didn't just trust them. They're like, oh no, they gave us like some of their like really important leaders, like their captain and stuff. And Marky's like, you guys are idiots. Their captain is dead, or their leaders are dead.
Like Batman.
Like Batman's parents.
Fuck,
this
that's
discussion last time you did the exact same thing. So they have a bunch of useless monsters, and the other ship shows up. Maybe they cut themselves out of the vice, I don't know. And they show up and use lasers, and there's like a laser battle on Axe, who's an Andalite, or you know who's an Andalite.
I'm sure they picked up all Axes.
Okay.
Unless you think this is like widespread internet fame. People in the middle of darkest fucking Africa watching your YouTube videos.
I really hope not. So they have like a battle.
Hang on, don't you have followers in Africa?
I do have followers in Africa, but they've read the Animorphs series.
Shit, okay, that doesn't work.
Believe it or not, people in Africa.
Yeah, I know, I'm not suggesting that Africa is not on the grid. That wasn't the intent.
Anyway, although one of my friends in Africa currently has very poor internet. Right. So,
Omicrons and aliens.
Yeah, so Cassie has another amazing moment, and she's like, okay, like they've been morphing at this like small things here, and they're like, the small things are like in proportion to their current size, so like flies are really tiny, and they morph. I think they morph birds or something really small, and they do this really stupid thing where they can like see the organelles and stuff.
Actually, morph to fly.
Maybe they morph. I don't know. They have to go some distance. Why would you morph a fly when you're that tiny to go distance?
Look, I don't think this is the point at which you have to ask them questions like that. They're already tiny.
They morph something small.
Sure, it was a fly.
Okay, fine, it's a fly.
Because they talk about the molecules.
Believe him, it's a fly. And they see like cells and organelles and cells, and they see molecules, and that makes no sense because anybody who understands how light works knows
not
that
Kay Applegate.
It's not her fault. She's a researcher for Noble. Okay. Anybody who understands how light works knows that what happens is when a molecule emits light, it picks up energy, heat or other light or whatever, and what happens is the electrons move to an outer shell, a higher energy shell, electron shell, and then they drop down again, and that emits a photon. So if you were looking at a molecule, you would not just see little balls like we do the models, right? They wouldn't. What you would see is just red. Why are you laughing at me?
Because it's the most fantastic red living in the world. It's spinning balls forever.
What you would see would be like
with lines between
photon light.
Like the orbits are actual lines in space.
I've seen that in cartoons, and it's not funny. It's lazy.
God damn it.
Anyway, so you would just see like red face light. So you wouldn't be able to see the molecules. You shouldn't be able to see the organelles. It's a diffraction. Have I covered like? I don't think they should see anything at this point because their eyes are too small for the diffractions of light. Let's ask a physicist. I'm a biologist, I'm not a physicist. If there's a physicist who watches this video and somehow manages to make it this far in, I apologize, but
5:43 by the way.
Then they can correct me, and then we can have an enormous Tumblr reblog conversation and bore everybody in both of our follower lists.
Okay, Tumblr Katamari, just rolling of everything.
Pretty much, I've not played that, but I'm familiar with the dating scene that Hussey was involved in.
You would hate it because it doesn't respect anything resembling physics.
I love physics. Okay, so,
should we...
No, let's just finish this when they're done.
Alright, we can do it.
They more small, and they, like, Cassie, like, finds the anteater enclosure somehow. Maybe Axe takes her there because she's not going to be able to see anything. And she acquires an anteater, even though she should be too small, like for their DNA.
It's never really clear if it's DNA or not.
No, their DNA is in like little balls in their bloodstream, which are super cool somehow. None of it.
Okay. They're super cool.
I've explained on Tumblr before why the DNA acquisition makes no sense. I'm not going to reiterate in this video.
Alright, pick up.
But it makes no sense. Anyway, she morphs an anteater, and she theorizes that everything they morph is like the size they are, but like a new morph might be a full size, and so she morphs an anteater and is like enormous. Well, it's a normal anteater. It's a giant anteater, I think, which is great because their front legs are shaped so it looks like a face beating, so that things attack their shot. None of that's relevant. The point is she morphs one and she like picks up a bunch of homocrons with her tongue, and she's like, "I will eat you if you do not. I will eat you if you do not like make us big again." And I missed the plot point because at this point Mr. 3 is also tiny. Okay.
I'm sure I think you said that.
I think that was the previous video.
Damn it!
Mr. 3 is tiny, like I think some other yokes as well, like got Trump tiny, and they had like a big battle on Axe. And she picks up a bunch of homocrons with her anteater tongue, and she's like, "Yeah, like I will eat you if you don't make us big again." And they do, which I don't understand because it's been established that the homocron brains, right, when they die, they get absorbed into the other homocrons. Now, I don't have a problem with that because we've already had Lyrans in this, and Lyrans can passively pick up the minds of things around them. Yeah, they can read thoughts. I don't have a problem with the idea of homocrons being able to passively pick up other homocrons to the point where when a homocron dies, like the others can pick up its entire mind. That does not bother me.
It kind of implies that they vomit their entire psyche into the white band when they die.
Yeah, so?
Wouldn't that be really noisy?
I don't know, if I was going to die, I would type everything I knew and felt and thought right into the internet.
But why?
So that people know.
Okay, pick up.
Anyway, so, what I don't understand is why they have really actually, I don't understand anything about their culture. None of their culture makes sense in light of this fact. But they agree, and they make her big again, they make it RX big again, and I don't understand why she wants to make this a 3 big again, because I would have just like put him in a jar and laughed at him.
Isn't it because Cassie's a designated plot device person?
I think if they're referring to Tobias, he's the designated plot device.
Okay, pick up.
But Cassie's the designated, like, moral spokesperson, and apparently...
I have ethics!
Apparently you're not allowed to keep your enemy tiny when he's going to murder a bunch of people in the future anyway.
It's not even technically killing him.
I think maybe
she should be all for that, because she's all about the loopholes and ethics.
Did they make an agreement, maybe, that, like, they were all going to get big?
I don't remember.
He morphed an anteater at some point as well, I remember that.
I don't. I thought it was Cassie morphing anteater.
And then he copies a trick and morphs an anteater.
Maybe, I don't know.
Then, what would have been great there would be...
That does kind of imply that Mr. 3 has got some kind of independent thought going on.
No, think about this, right? Epic anteater battle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my lightsaber tongues!
The epic anteater battle does not happen. Shit.
Why not?
It should, but it does not.
Party McClouds, do it.
It doesn't happen in Party McClouds. Party McClouds has an entire different setup for the psychology behind the Helmicrons in their system. Might be able to listen. I'll look at my notes when I'm not drunk, because when you're drunk, everything is a great idea. I nearly did the second half of this review in a masquerade mask, but my masquerade mask is broken. Anyway, I do have Dr. Fate. None of that's relevant. The point, I'm not putting the Dr. Fate helmet on, sure? I don't think my voice would come through on the camera if it's barricaded by the helmet.
Why do I have, like... Oh, it's too, never mind.
So they make everyone big again, and the animals and they charge their ship and they go off into space. But before they do that, like Marco has a talk with Wuss, which I still think is an appropriate name, and with I presume the Helmicron males, and he's all like, "Hey, you don't have to put up with this. Like, you're strong and powerful. You can like do your own thing. You don't have to be slaves to the females." And so they go off and like. Oh, I forgot the part where the ship died.
I had a clever joke. I said earlier that would make sense. After he gives the talk and makes them with MRAs, they're a planet of hats!
That's fucking hilarious.
Yes, it is!
I don't know if it'd be more as hilarious when I'm not like.
Probably not. You're probably gonna punch me in the head, but that's alright.
It's fucking hilarious. Okay, so
Milady.
yeah, one of the other ships died earlier.
The Vista shot up with a Dracon beam.
Something happened to it, and like from then on, like the remaining ship was all like they used to argue at each other a lot and snipe at each other and like put each other down. But from then on, like the remaining ship was like, oh yes, our glorious comrades who were slain in battle and all honorable and shit. And they freaking recharge their ship and go off into space, but not before Marco has a discussion with Maz, and like they start their own like rights group, and the
It is misandry.
well, it actually is misandry this time, so
Okay.
like it's legitimate
So
misandry.
the only time that actually applies is for a fictional alien species.
I don't know anything about cultures. Maybe there are humans. I don't know. Ask Hannah.
Okay. Lizzie can help.
Lizzie's a year and a half old.
She probably has a better perspective than most people.
She does punch her father a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So, they go off into space and they're like,
Asio came to this
instead of previously, like, the two ships were really competitive and arguing about how the other ship was incompetent and shit, but now one of the ships is dead and it's on and stuff, and like now it's just the females and the males arguing about who's the best as they go off into space, and everyone laughs at them like they're not going to, like, succumb to their inner, cultural instability and all die.
What's up with death in the Homicron matters?
It probably will if all the Homicrons die. But, are there other... They can't.
I assume there are species.
Like if there are other, if they're the last, they can't really mention. So the other.
The Yokes are aware of them as a species.
Is there a distance-dependent effect on the mind absorption?
What's the range on mind speak?
Thought speak. It depends on your emotional connection with the person. Because
Well, that's
Gaffin
a fucking arbitrary distinction.
and Myrtle have a thought speak range the distance of a planet.
But they're also a pair of stoner andalites.
Only one of them is confirmed as a stoner, and
Confirmed.
they're Shawms, and they're probably gay.
So maybe being gay gives you super telekinesis.
I think it's being Shawms, actually, and I was actually really upset that didn't happen.
Maybe it could be being gay and being a short.
With Tobias and with accidentally call it them.
But they're siblings.
One's an uncle and one's nephew, and they
Okay,
are Shawm.
relations then.
Shawm is not a sexual relationship.
You couldn't get the class modifier for being gay if it's just a relationship thing.
What does they're Shawms. It don't have to be gay to be Shawms.
How do you know?
How do you know?
How many other Shawms have you seen in the series?
I've seen two sets, and one is gay and one is not. Actually, one is implied to be gay.
But they're both same gender.
True.
Clearly, the LGBT movement is alive and well in the Unlock Home.
Yeah, or maybe it's that we see like one Andalite female in the entire series.
True. Maybe they're secretly all females. I mean, they've already got fucked up biology. It's not like it would matter if it was.
I was actually very disappointed at how many of the alien species were two genders, bisexual, reproductive.
Do we see any that aren't?
Yeah, the Yerks and the Taxons.
Oh, I forgot
the evil species that later turn out to be not evil but so different we should pity them because they're so different from humans.
But the taxon reproduction doesn't go up, does it?
I think
there's an excellent fic written by Darren about taxons, and you should read it just to make her finish the fucking fic.
I will finish it someday. I'm only a year behind schedule.
Only a year, okay.
Only a year behind schedule. None of this is relevant.
No, it's not.
So they go into space and everyone's happy, and it's a silly, goofy story, which is standard for Cassie stories, because Cassie apparently isn't allowed to have pain because she's the favourite. Apart from Tobias somehow, and he gets all the pain. That is the story of The Suspicion. Read the book because it's more coherent than what I said.
Am I turning off?
Yeah, let me say goodbye with Alaran. Goodbye,
Okay.
Alaran. Bye-bye.
Bye.